This episode of our Lap of Australia, we are tackling the Oodnadatta Track. 600 kilometres of dirt road. Corrugations are a little bad here. Through Australia's remote, rugged outback. Corrugation's already claiming its first victim. God damn it. We're taking the long way round to reach Australia's interior. And out here, every kilometre has a story. Try that. This is the Oodnadatta Track. Now, we've spent the last 2 to 3 weeks in the Flinders, so this is going to be a big landscape change going from mountains to what's in front of us, which is just flat, and it's going to get even flatter. So it's going to be a rude awakening. I think you're going to wish those mountains back once you get out of there.
Flatter, drier, dustier.
Yep.
Hotter.
Yep. More flies. Yeah, all that is coming. But first, we got to resupply, and to do that, we're going to be stopping into the old mining town of Leigh Creek. Now, Anya, did you know Leigh Creek only exists because of the massive coal mine? That's the only reason. The whole town is built to essentially house the workers. In the 1940s, huge coal deposits were found just north of the Flinders Ranges, which in turn created the township of Leigh Creek. It was a huge operation and it provided most of the power and electricity for South Australia. Huge amounts of coal was sent from this very town all the way down to Port Augusta, where it was put in the power generators and then powered the state of South Australia. But in 2015, the mine came to an end, and with that, the town really had to change its way, because as soon as the mine shut down, people left. And this is sort of like the modern day equivalent of what we've seen with all these ghost towns we've been to. Well, this is a coal mining town that, now that we no longer really use coal as much, is, disappearing. But luckily, there's lots of people like us that need to stock up on supplies here. So into Leigh Creek, paying a little bit more for fuel here. Once I fill this, we should be good till easily Coober, Pedy, if not further up into Alice Springs. So yeah, we'll fill it up and away we go. So we're turning off now to visit an old ghost town of Farina, which only really comes alive in the middle of winter because the local historical society opens up the bakery, so it becomes a really popular tourist spot to stop in. But started in the late 1800s, it was originally set to be a farming town. They're going to try and grow wheat out here. And obviously that didn't turn out very well. But there's a bakery up here, which I'm very keen to visit, and there's heaps of other historical railway stuff because this runs on the old Garn line. And
it's all volunteer run at the bakery.
Yep.
To try and preserve the town, which is so cool.
Yeah, volunteer run. So all the profits go back into the town in basically rebuilding and restoring everything in the town. So yeah, it's really cool. So I'm pretty sure the town was abandoned in the 1980s roughly. So that was when the last people moved out, and it's really had no one in it until this initiative came along, which is, yeah, as you can see, the town's packed. Entering inside the restored bakery, it is incredible to see so many baked goods in what seems to be like the middle of nowhere. Look at the operation back there, all the volunteers. It's entirely run by volunteers, it's just so cool. Yep, that's it.
Thank you. Sorry, we went a bit crazy. We're so excited to come here. We had nice...
Simple pleasures.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Wow, Anya, look at all your...
What do you want to eat it?
Look at all your goodies. Anya's bought out half the bakery. Wow.
Look at this custard tart, buddy.
Oh my God.
They did not skim for the custard.
Wow, this place is awesome. Good? And after eating our lovely bakery goods, we went around back to see how they're actually made. Wow, so this is a working example of a Scotch oven. So that's the underground bakery where they're actually cooking all the bread for the bakery. And you said they keep it lit 24 hours a day, pumping out. Well, you said 100 loaves a day they pump out.
Yeah, or
which is,
upwards of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It even smells like bread out here.
I know, the whole place does smell like bread.
So cool.
So as you can see by this massive water tank next to me, we are right alongside the original Garn Railway. And there it is. I looked at photos and this train used to sit out in the elements, getting covered in rust and all have you in the weather. But they've gone ahead and built a shed for it, and they've actually repainted it as well. So I'm pretty sure this is an NSU class, Commonwealth locomotive. These were what were brought in to replace the steam engines in the 1950s. So these ran up and down from Port Augusta to Alice Springs, running passengers, freight, etc. And there's a heap of them left out here, so I don't think this will be the last one we see along the Oodnadatta Track.
And travelling north out of Farina along the Outback Highway, it wasn't long until you rolled into the last town on the blacktop, Marree.
Now, as you can see by the locomotive behind me, Marree was another town along the historic Garn railway line. It was a vital hub in linking up many routes, not just train routes, like the old camel routes and now obviously roads. You've got the Birdsville track just over there, which heads all the way to Birdsville. It's a very important town on the route. Yeah, obviously a big stop in, and look at the station here. It is big, so yeah, really cool to see.
For us, Marree marks the start of the 600-kilometre long Oodnadatta Track, which is one of the most iconic outback roads in Australia.
All right, we're at the start of the Oodnadatta Track. I'm pretty excited to start this one. First thing we're gonna do though is actually air the tires down, because we are doing like 400 kilometers of dirt roads. So wear them down just to help any corrugations. And I'm going to adjust my FRR shocks just to soften everything up for the corrugations. And then I think we're ready to hit the road, Anya. So let's get into it. All right, we're officially on the Oodnadatta Track. We are heading west towards Oodnadatta. The car's riding really well. As soon as letting down the air out of the tires and just adjust the suspension, it's just like a cloud right now. It's actually in really good condition actually at the moment, so that's great. But yeah, we're just kind of absorbing in the outback. There's really not much out here apart from that lovely railway to our left. But I just can't get over how like green it all is. Like obviously this is starting to tinge off a little bit, but it is extremely green and not what I was expecting at all, so yeah.
But as beautiful as the Oodnadatta Track can be, it is also filled with hazards that could very easily end one's trip.
So when you belt along the Oodnadatta Track, you might come across this. That's a little red warning flag telling you to slow down because there's something probably pretty bad ahead. And just here, half the track is just covered in water and half the rest of it's just pretty bad ruts. So yeah, you definitely don't want to hit that at like 100k an hour. So if you see that little red flag, slow down. But
Believe it.
yeah, believe it. But you can see on the road, like sometimes there's big washouts and there's big amount of tracks left behind, and that's why they're so quick to shut this track when it does rain, because it is a vital link to all the people that, you know, the roadhouse and such need supplies on it. We've already seen, yeah, road train, and if people are out there driving on it when it's all wet, it just tears it up so quickly, as you can see by these tracks.
That afternoon, we continued around 50 kilometres along the track until we found our camp for the night.
This looks like a pretty nice spot. All right, we just arrived at our campsite for the night on the Oodnadatta Track, right next to an old rail bridge. So we'll camp here. It's about 3 o'clock, but the Oodnadatta's not about smashing it all in one day, is it, Anya? It's about soaking it all in.
Taking in the sights.
Taking in the sights. You would get such good stars out here, but I'm pretty sure tonight is like full moon, which kind of sucks. But it's going to be a nice night anyway. It's so green out here, as you can see by this creek we're on. It's just like really nice and green. So yeah, we gotta chill out.
We can start processing our bread.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like good bread. Cheers.
That's so yum.
We haven't had nice fresh bread in a while. Do you like the railway bridge, Anya?
Yeah, I suppose. No, it's nice, yeah.
How couldn't you like it? It's so good.
I do like it, I just don't like it to the same scale that you like it.
Yeah.
But it is really cool.
Far out. It's actually really cool to get it. We haven't had any fantastic sunsets yet because the weather's been so off. But today, it's freaking blue sky. What a spot. Completely alone too. Yeah, something happened the other day, and I don't think I'm probably not allowed to share this on the internet publicly. It was my mistake, but we had our first medical emergency on the lap. We're getting into bed, we're gonna watch something on the TV, and we have the Bluetooth speaker which sort of hangs like at the top of the tent. And it wasn't on, and I was like trying to fumble to turn on the freaking Bluetooth button to turn it on, and it slipped and fell and hit Anya straight on the nose, and massive blood nose in the bed. She was in hysterics, rightfully so, it would have freaking hurt. But yeah, that was the other night at camp, so I owe her a lot for doing that. It was pretty nasty, so that's why she's got a little bump, a little bruise on her nose, is from that. At least it's perfectly straight, which is good. If I had bent it, that would have been bad.
No, just like,
Yeah, I know.
it's here. Trust me, it still hurts.
I believe you. Alright, emergency broadcast. We have just seen water and it looks like it's the freaking ocean, but it's just like air. It's insane.
It looks like the ocean.
It looks like the freaking ocean. It literally looks like an inland sea. It's like, it's insane how much water's out here, especially once you've come out this far and you haven't seen what looks to be an ocean forever. To see that, it's insane. And it's funny, John Eyre, the person who's like this is named after, Lake Eyre, they came out here hoping to find something like this. They thought there might have been an inland sea in Central Australia, but all they found was the dried up salt lake. And then you only get in rare events like this where it becomes an ocean. But yeah, it can be few and far between to see it like this. So I think we're pretty lucky. We picked the right time, Anya. It is incredible. It's our largest inland lake system when it's full of water like this. And it's actually interesting because the water that all gets caught in here, it doesn't like flow out a river, or it doesn't flow anywhere. It just sits in there and evaporates over time. The other cool thing down here, the elevation is you're actually 7 meters below sea level. And I think down in the middle of the lake, it's like -14 below sea level. So this is the lowest point of mainland Australia. Like we're below sea level, so it's pretty freaky.
Seeing Lake Eyre in its current state is pretty spectacular, and it's expected to be holding water like this for a couple years to come, so it's definitely worth checking it out on your next outback adventure. For us, it was time to continue along the track, however this is when things began to take a turn.
Alright, the corrugations are a little bad here.
Hopefully these mounds are worth it, eh, Patrick?
Yeah. Corrugation's already claiming its first victim. God damn it.
On the way out to check out the artesian spring, the bubbler, the corrugations actually got so bad it knocked one of my flares completely loose.
Like, the car's been pretty good so far, but it's just those corrugations are just the worst. They just kill and destroy everything in their path. Anything that's going to kill this car, it's going to be corrugations, but well, what's up? We'll sort it.
Luckily, I have plenty of spare screws and bolts, so we're able to make the repair and get the flare secure again.
Alright, so with the car now fixed, we can finally look at some things. And the first thing we're going to look at here is a natural spring. Oh wow!
Oh my god!
It's like a little oasis.
Wow.
These springs are part of the Great Artesian Basin, which you don't know what that is. Essentially, it's a massive underground water supply network, which the rains that fall in Queensland feed all the way down here into the south, and a lot of the springs around here pick up from that Artesian Basin. It's hot water coming to the surface that creates cracks.
You can see the bubbles in it, Pedy.
You can see it bubbling
away. You can literally
away.
see it bubbling, like, and it's so flat up here.
It's incredible to see, especially when you're out here in the middle of absolutely nowhere, to come across something like that.
You can literally see it bubbling.
Yeah.
Wow, Pat.
To think all that water is coming from deep underground, traveling all the way down from Queensland down to here, and then popping out in springs like this.
Lovely. Maybe this is a stretch for you, but I find this more impressive than Lake Eyre. Yeah, the bubbler was once a spring that broad, twisted bubble was 1/2 meter high.
Wow.
Then settlers came and many things changed. The area was trampled and rubbished. So there's less water pressure than there used to be. Sounds like before settlers came, the bubbles were coming up meters high, which would be incredible to see.
Just a few minutes up the track from the bubbler, light our camp for the night. We were staying at Coward Springs, which was a paid campsite, but was home to one of the only swimming holes on the Oodnadatta Track.
Well, might not be able to swim in the bubbler, but I reckon we can swim in this, Anya. Oh yeah, it's pretty warm in there. Like, it's not cold. Is that nice?
Yes. This is lovely.
So it definitely feels warm.
Yes, definitely. And we haven't had like any water for a few days.
This is our first swim of the trip,
yes.
So it feels nice to actually jump in some. It's it is minerally, but it doesn't feel too bad. It's actually quite nice. Very refreshing, to be honest. Like, after being out here, very, very refreshing.
Now, at Coward Springs is actually a wetland, which you might be wondering how does that exist out here, and it's actually due to the train line, where back in the 1800s an artesian bore was sunk to get water for the steam engines, and over time that salty artesian water corroded the bore casing, allowing water to pour out across the desert, creating a lush oasis in one of Australia's driest landscapes.
So what do we think of the Oodnadatta Track so far, Anya?
We love it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you like it so much.
I don't know if I've just got on the right wavelength with this place. I don't know, but I love it. This is my favorite part of the trip. It's awesome.
It's funny because it seems like there's nothing really out here, and I guess from a lot of the drone shots and stuff, it kind of looks pretty bare out there, but as you keep driving the track, it is slowly changing the landscape. We're getting a lot more into dune territory, where we're going up and over big dunes.
I think this track is really surprising us because there's so much life here. Maybe it's just because we've had so much rain, and there seems like the sky seems so much larger.
Yes.
Here because there's nothing in the way of it.
Looking up at night time and like it's a big sky. And in terms of road conditions, like it's not actually that bad. Like it's some sections are a little corrugated, but some sections are like a highway and you just plow through it. So it gets wider and then it gets smaller. It varies, but I guess that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
So.
So do we still love the Oodnadatta Track, Patrick?
I like the track, don't like the corrugations. All my bolts keep falling out, but it's all right. It's just these flares, that's the only annoying thing, is they just don't hold in very well. As you can tell by the planes, we've made it to William Creek, so we'll head around town and see what's around. All right, so we're in the main street of William Creek, and it's interesting, this town was actually around before the railway, so it was discovered in the mid-1800s and is actually home to the world's largest cattle stations. So you can see behind me modern day William Creek, and it is aircraft. It's taking people on tours up over Lake Eyre. There are planes constantly just taking off and landing here. During these winter months it gets super popular, tour buses coming in, all to go up in the air and see Lake Eyre from above.
In William Creek, I got the tools out again to finally sort out that flare for good, and then we headed off towards Oodnadatta.
See ya, good luck with the roads.
Oodnadatta, 206 kilometres.
Hopefully this next section's a little less corrugated. We'll see how we go, eh? Well, we're very much out in the thick of it now, aren't you? We are just nothing out here at all.
This is for sure one of the most remote places I had ever travelled, and it just shows how vast Australia really is.
All right, we have made it to the Alja Bridge. Now this is the longest bridge on the whole Ghana railway line, and for 120 years it was the longest bridge in South Australia. It's nearly 600 metres long, so pretty mighty considering they had to haul all the gear out here and build it out here. I think they used 300 men to build it. It's insane. And the flies are also quite intense here, aren't they? As you can see behind this little fly net. But yeah, these are probably the most flies we've had so far on the journey. But yeah, it's a really big bridge. But as you can see, look, all the way where we've come from Port Augusta, Anya, and now we're all the way up here. You getting sick of the railway history yet, Anya? No, there's a lot of it. I mean, there's some repetitive bits, obviously, like, you know, they've got to have sidings and the same tanks everywhere. But it is cool. I mean, it's the reason that we're on the track right now, is for the railway, so it's interesting to see it. Look at all the flies on you. Now, when we pulled up here, I also put the thermal camera on the phone and I had a look over the car. Now, I just wanted to see how, you know, the bearings are going temp-wise, and of course the shocks. Now, I've got remote reservoir shocks, which a lot of people think could be overkill, but for someone like on this trip, man, they get an absolute workout. The amount of corrugations we're hitting is crazy, and that car weighs a lot, and those shocks are doing a huge amount of work to soften out that load. But very impressed to see that the cooling is going really well on them. Everything's keeping cool, the bearings are all the same temp, which is great. And yeah, so far we're nearly to the end. We're nearly to Oodnadatta, so we're rolling in, people. We're rolling in to Oodnadatta. We made it. The famous pink roadhouse. So we do have plenty of supplies for dinner, but Anya's feeling bad because there's not many people here, and
No. I feel, no, it's just because the roads have been closed and, yeah, and the fuel's more expensive. So.
There hasn't been many people going to the Roadhouse to buy
Not
stuff.
just the Roadhouse, just everywhere. Yeah.
So we're going to spend some money out in the town tonight. So let's go have a look.
What do you reckon?
It's a great burger. Dude, the burger. I think it's called something like that, but it's
really
good.
good.
Especially after a full day of corrugations. It goes down well.
Really good.
How nice is that, eh? All right, so it's good morning in Oodnadatta. Now, you might be thinking we're going to be keeping going on this way and go to Marree or Mount Dare, which this track continues on and does that. I feel like we've done most of the historical stuff I want to see here, and we've got a very important gem town that I want to stop and visit at, which is 2 hours to our west. So I'm going to leave Mount Dare for when I do the Simpson Desert Crossing with the boys, hopefully later on another time. But obviously the Oodnadatta Track does continue on, and the train line continues on to Finke and then to Alice Springs. But we'll catch up with the train line later on. Right now, let's go check out this gem town of Coober, Pedy. They are the first trees we've probably seen in about an hour. There is nothing out here at all. This feels even more desolate than the Oodnadatta Track was. Like totally. this is like, we've been driving for an hour now. Nothing. Just nothing, not even a bush. Like, there's nothing here. There's a few tumbleweeds, but that's about it. This is, proper outback country. All right, so it's airing up since we hit the tarmac. Airing down made a huge difference on the tracks. Not only is it just making it comfier, it's also making sure these bad boys are protected and safe going over all those rocks. But honestly, these things are wearing so well. These are Yokohama mud terrains G003s for anyone interested. But yeah, these are about 20,000 Ks old, and it's chunky meat, chunky rubber, don't get me wrong, they're very aggressive, but they still do really well on just dirt roads and tarmac as well. So yeah, I've been driving sick, and yeah, no punches yet. Fingers crossed we'll make it through the rest of the trip, but airing down definitely helps reduce those chances of blowing a tire. So airing back up, ready to hit that tarmac.
Look at them all.
That is a freaky amount of tumbleweeds. Whoa, that is a lot of tumbleweeds. Well, here we are officially in the opal capital of the world, Coober, Pedy. Now, Coober, Pedy is really interesting because the world's best opals are from Coober, Pedy. They're the strongest, they're the most colourful. So people from all over the world come to Coober, Pedy to buy them. And the result of having the best opals in the world is this. Looks like something out of a quarry or another planet or something. It's just these mega mounds of mullock, which mullock, if you don't know, it's essentially scrap dirt, that comes out from the ground. It's really interesting. All right, so we just pulled up to our accommodation for the night because we are staying in a underground room, or whatever, underground. It's gonna be sick. But it is so windy out there today. They got massive gusts. So I'm actually very glad we're inside and not in the rooftop tent tonight because it is just so dusty too from all the mines and everything. Yeah. Anyway, let's go check out the room.
This is so cool.
Couldn't come to Coober, Pedy and not stay in an underground house.
No.
Like, I mean, how cool is this?
Anyway, and look at this. This must be.
That's our breathing hole.
This is our breathing hole.
I can hear it. I can hear it drafting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our breathing hole. And the best thing is, being underground, it's a constant, I think, like 22 to 25 degrees C. So it's nice and cool in here.
Fresh towels.
This is a welcome respite after the Oodnadatta Track.
After checking in, we headed straight into town to find some opals, and that meant suiting up and heading underground. The Old Timers Opal Miner Museum gives you a great idea how opal was first mined in Coober, Pedy. Opal was first discovered here in 1915, and over the following decades a massive opal boom took hold, with the town growing to over 5,000 people by the 1980s as people from all over the world arrived chasing their fortune underground.
How you doing down here, Anya?
I'm actually pretty good, surprisingly. And really interesting how it all has to be done by hand because the opal's so soft. Like it's only as hard as glass, I'm pretty sure. So
Exactly,
the lady upstairs was telling us if they jackhammer, well, if they were using a jackhammer, as soon as you see opal, you stop because otherwise it'll break.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, they got to get it out by hand.
Really cool.
So because we are technically in an ancient ocean, there's actually seashells here that have been fossilized in the rock. So that's pretty incredible. So not only did the miners work underground, they lived underground as well, which is pretty incredible to see. Like, you know, they work and live under here. You know, I've been to a few mines before, but never an opal mine, and it's so different than like your standard gold mine or coal mine or copper mine that I went into the other week. It's really unique. Definitely worth coming down and having a look. Another day, another helmet, another mine tour. This time a working mine tour, so working opal mine. So very keen to do this. Hopefully we do some noodling later, find some opals, but it should be good. So we've actually got given UV torches, so we're going to be able to spot the opals with the ultraviolet light. So what we're seeing heaps of down here, excuse the sound of the blower going over there, but every little bit of highlighted piece is opal, but they call it potch because essentially it's opal without any colour, so it's not really valuable to them, so that's why it's all still here. So you can sort of go through the wall and see little bits there, see little bits, and it's just scattered throughout this entire place, like just so much of it. So, but yeah, they don't take it out because it's got no colour, so it's worthless. So yeah, but it's cool for us to come have a look. But it's really interesting seeing this because this is, as she's saying, is this like ancient seafloor essentially, so very different like rock texture from what we find at home.
There was also plenty to learn about the process of pegging a claim and the legality behind finding opal in the modern age, and with any luck we might even have a chance at uncovering a piece of our own.
So we just wrapped up our mine tour and they've got a bit of a noodling pit out the front here where it's basically just all the old tailings, but they give you some little sieves and stuff and you can go through it. So Anya is determined to find an opal, as you can see over there. So it's pretty windy, but she's giving it a good crack. And this is called noodling, apparently. So Anya is actually finding opals here. Oh, that was not too bad.
I mean, it might be potch, but it's still pretty.
Yeah, that's good. You keep going. I'm gonna have a look at these old trucks over here. So we saw the blower working from down in the mine. And this is a great example of what it looks like. You've probably seen this before on the big Coober Pedy sign, but this right here is a blower. So the lady actually said they got the idea from a snowy hydro engineer. So a lot of people that came to Coober Pedy actually worked on snowy hydro. They came here, obviously they're pretty switched on folks, and they came up with this design to suck all the mullock out of the mine through the truck, and that big bin up there would get it all stored in, and then this thing could move around, rotate the crane on the back and create the mullock piles and dump it. So yeah, pretty simple invention when you think about it, but pretty cool for the mines. And I got another one over there. There's so many of these blowers around. It's really interesting.
Come to laugh, have you?
No, I've come to see what you found. Yeah, nice. There's some good bits in there.
Now you have to keep them forever.
Oh yeah, I'll store them for you.
I think I don't want to do it in the wind.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Coober Pedy was a really great stop with a heap of cool things to check out. Unfortunately, the town is suffering a bit at the moment with a population decline and other issues, but the locals are determined to keep it alive. So if you're passing by, drop in, get yourself an opal, get a meal, because it's all little things like these which help keep these towns on the map. Now, before you get back out onto the Stuart Highway, you have to do this back road to check out the breakaways and this classic piece of Aussie history.
Well, I've always wanted to visit this thing. This is the dog fence. It was built to keep the dingoes out and the sheep safe, and it is the longest fence on planet Earth, and I think the longest structure in the world as well. It is 5,600 kilometers long, so it stretches all the way from Queensland all the way through SA. It is quite the marvel, really, because it just keeps going and going. And it's quite high. It's actually higher than what I expected too, so there you go. If we get lost, yeah, we can follow the dog fence back to Queensland or something.
And just past the dog fence, you find the breakaways, a landscape of ancient white quartz hills and colourful ridgelines that pop out of nowhere.
And actually, there were a fair few movies shot out here as well. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, I think some Mars movie, some other stuff, just because it does look such like an outback alien landscape. So yeah, if you're in Coober Pedy, come check it out.
And after 600 kilometers of dirt roads, we were finally back to the tarmac.
Wow, the Stewart Highway, huh?
We would now follow the Stewart Highway over 700 kilometers north, crossing into the Northern Territory, where we'll be meeting back up with the railway that kickstarted this whole adventure. And just our luck, we happened to time this with one of the biggest events in off-road motorsport.
All right, we have made it to the Finke Desert Race. I honestly didn't expect to be here. It just happened to work out perfect timing that we were coming through as the race was on. And now we are camped just about 40 meters back from the racetrack itself. So this is my first time to Finke, and if you don't know what Finke is, it's essentially an outback desert race heading from Alice Springs all the way down to the township of Finke. There's 300 Ks there, 300 Ks back. They do it in 2 days, and this is the type of terrain they have to race on. So there's bikes, there's side-by-sides, there's four-wheel drive trophy trucks. This is the 50th year anniversary of it, so it's gonna be massive. There has been cars going up and down this road the entire afternoon. There are people scattered along this entire 300 kilometer stretch of racetrack. I'm actually very excited to see it now. We didn't really have any intention to be here, but we're here now, and both Anya and I are stoked about it. So yeah, we're gonna sit down. We've got an awesome camp spot, literally by ourselves on the racetrack. So yeah, we're gonna have a great night here, and then wake up tomorrow morning to the sound of cars thumping down this track. So can't wait. All right, so it's the morning of the race. Just woken up. They just left Alice Springs 10 minutes ago, so they should, by rights, doing the speed they're doing, be here in roughly 20 minutes or so. So, all right, Anya, ready to experience our first Finke? We could literally hear it for the last 5 minutes coming down the track, so it's nearly here.
I feel like when it comes around the corner, it'll be going much faster than
Me too.
we're expecting.
Oh, you can hear it.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's gonna be loud.
Oh my god.
Holy
shit.
That was insane.
Oh my god.
I thought it'd be fast, but that was like...
It's like, it was... its wheels were just like it was running.
That was insane.
So now they have...
So now,
in
the top 20, they have a minute gap between them as they leave the start line.
So that the dust just
So the dust settles. But then later on in the race, it
just
goes
all
down to 30-second gaps, and then it goes down to 2 at a time. So it's going to get dusty and hectic out there for them. So it's going to get more action-packed as the day goes on. Yeah. Another very important thing at Finke, make sure you camp on the right side of the road so you don't get dust everywhere, because we've timed it so the wind's going westerly and we camped on the east side of the track. So yeah, get that right.
So that morning we kicked back watching these insane cars go past until something crazy happened.
Oh my God, it's broken down right in front of camp. Anything we can do to help, or?
Just started missing and carrying on, so yeah,
okay.
not much we can do with that.
Do you want a jump pack or something?
Can we just borrow for
Yeah.
sweet, man.
All right, kick it. Try that.
Yep.
Now, while it started, there was a deeper electrical issue related to the alternator, and with no spare, we managed to use our King Chrome jump pack to power the race truck over to the service road where they could wait for a tow. Now, just as we went to remove the drive shaft for towing, a passerby just happened to have a spare alternator, so it was tools out, and hopefully this could avoid them having to be towed to Finke like many others that day.
Coming down.
So with our spare second-hand alternator in, we fired it up.
Try now.
But it still wasn't charging properly, which unfortunately meant it was going to be towed to Finke.
No worries.
tomorrow.
So next time you go to Finke, bring a jump pack, tools, and maybe even an alternator, because you never know what might roll into your camp.
Having lunch, watching the bikes go by.
This is a perfect day for hot dogs.
It really is. So I think there's a record number of something like 500 bikes racing today. So there's just bike after bike after bike coming down that track. Look, there you go too.
Watching all of this unfold right in front of camp for free is one of the most wild things, but the race itself can get a whole lot crazier.
There's a car crash at 35 mark.
It's been like a super hectic day today on the tracks. Like I'm listening in on the UHF and there's been that many crashes already. It's a pretty gnarly race really when you think about it.
Even if you're not that into motorsport, Finke is an experience with a blend of stunning outback camping and some of the wildest racing you can see in Australia, if not the world. And for it to be a free event to camp trackside, I reckon this won't be my last Finke.
All right, today's the Finke Desert Race done and dusted. Now it's time to head to Alice. But Anya, what did you think of the race?
It was awesome, especially I'm not a car buff or anything. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was actually
So
a really good watch. So stoked we came in and made the effort to come here. But for now, we are heading to Alice Springs to meet up with the railway line that we're following this entire episode for the final stop, the final station, Alice Springs. So let's go.
Next time, we arrive in the centre of Australia.
This is,
Never seen anything like this.
nah, this is nuts.
That's all next time on Aussie Arvos.